this is the project that I want to look at. So now we are going to create a bucket using uh, the Google Cloud command line. So with Google Cloud, there are multiple utilities for multiple things, like G Cloud. By multiple things, I mean multiple resources. G Cloud covers a lot of commands, but for storage, they use gsutil command, and then gsutil is going to show you what options it has. It has a lot of options. Okay, and we don't want to look at all the options. We just want to create a bucket. Gsutil. Now MB and then help. Get like remembering all these commands, at least not possible for me. Oh, no, this works a little opposite of AWS CLI. AWS CLI, you specify the command first, and then you say help. Anyway, so right here, C class, standard. So there are multiple classes for storage buckets, and the concept is one class gives you access faster, other class gives you less faster response, but it's going to be stored in a storage that's cheaper. And it's just how it goes. Like the cheaper you go, the retrieval time will be longer, and the retrieval time quicker, you'll be paying more money. And then the location is basically just the region where you want to put it. So those are the only two things we're going to cover. The project ID is already set through get config, not get config, gcloud config list. All right, so now we're just going to copy paste this command and execute it. Okay, so you're going to see the bucket created here. That's our first bucket. Same thing with S3. Now S3 has different syntaxes. So S3 API is the subcommand that we're going to use. In that, create bucket is the subcommand that we're going to use, and then we have to specify the dash bucket, as in that's going to be the name of the new bucket. And the other thing that you have to specify is the region. And then ECL is access control list, which means we are going to create this bucket without public access. Let's do that. Okay, so that's created. Okay, so now a couple of things. First, I'm going to move this up so we can just look at the command. So first thing first, this is the message that you got, creating. Now, it did not tell you that it succeeded. If it fails, it's going to give you a message, but it did not tell you that it succeeded. Same thing here. This you have to kind of assume that it did succeed, and this is how the command line interfaces work. Now the second thing, you can execute these commands through a shell script. So cat cr buckets.sh. Now if you try to execute this again, okay, non-Terraform bucket already exists, but the next one, it didn't show you any error, but that bucket is actually existing, so that command failed for sure. So if you by mistake run it again, chances are, like in this case, you can't really do anything destructive because it's just a bucket. But other places you can end up deleting or creating something that you are not supposed to do. So that is one thing. Now we're going to look at how to remove these buckets, and for that I have created another shell script. okay, and it just removes those buckets, right? So dot slash rm buckets dot sh. Okay, this bucket should be gone, and this bucket is gone as well. Okay, now let's try to execute this one more time. Okay, bucket not found exception. Remove bucket failed. So this right here doesn't really matter, but this rmbucket.sh is most likely going to be a part of another script, and that's going to be part of another script. And if the exception, first of all, if the exception is not handled, your whole workflow is going to fail. If the exception is handled, well, to handle that, you're going to have to add additional code. So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Actually, let me pause and show you guys a script and how it looks like in shell. Alright guys, so just wrote a small shell script. Basically, it just takes the bucket name. Now this is going to check if the bucket already exists. And that'll basically gs_ls and the bucket name, right? And basically it says that I cannot write correct syntax. So in this case, the only thing the script is checking is for the bucket existence. So the bucket status is equal to that command. So if that command returns a result, basically it's going to succeed, or otherwise it's going to fail. But here, while creating the bucket in the script, I'm specifying US Central 1. Now, let's say by mistake I created the bucket in US East 1 manually. So basically the script has to check that and let me know that it's not in the correct zone or fix that part. So there could be any number of attributes that a bucket can have that we want to use each time. If that becomes a priority attribute, we're going to have to write new code. By the way, I'm trying to display all attributes of the bucket, and it's some kind of L. Alright, it's the capital L. But yeah, so that's another thing. Like, you're gonna have to remember the switches and symbols, and especially if we are just working on one. Once again, that -o table, that is syntax for Azure, and that doesn't work on Google. Anyway, so basically there is a way that there would be some filter, this and that commands that can give you the US East 1, but once again, based on that, you're going to have to build logic in the script if you way to get the script and the actual bucket in sync. Like, basically the script says Central 1, the actual bucket says East 1, then the script should drop the East 1 and create it in Central 1. But the shell script, like I said, it will be just way too big of a script, and it doesn't help. I'd be like, you're gonna have to use them where you need to use them. So it gets even worse when you have something like this. So EC2 run instances will create an EC2 instance. So /EC2. Now here we don't have the instance ID, because like it's going to get created after the command is executed. All right, so now to describe instances. Okay, and because there is just one Alright, I'm not even, like, basically every one of them has a different output format, so I'm just going to grep it, grep minus I instance. Okay, so this is the instance ID, and if you want to drop this particular instance through a script, what you're going to do is you're going to get this into some variable, and then AWS-EC2 terminate instance ID, and then this, and then instances. But yeah, this is the struggle with working with command line, and you're going to have to work with command line, don't get me wrong, but there are other options that can make life way easier vis-a-vis Terraform. So we're going to look at that in the next section.